So shalom everybody. We're starting now mitzvah samech in Mishpatim. As you know, in Mishpatim there are many mitzvot. נכון? In Mishpatim there are many mitzvot. So there's a lot to choose from. I'll just review and welcome for coming back. What we did this year at this shift. We did the mitzvah. We did the mitzvah of Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim. That was on Parashat Bo. And then we did the mitzvah of Kiddush. These are the two mitzvot that we covered. And now we're doing, last week I wasn't here, and then Ladun mitzvah samech mitzvat bedin Ladun bedin hashoel. Someone that borrows, nachon, borrower. So now, it's interesting. You know, we say that there's arba'a shomrim. Nachon? It's a Mishnah in Bava Metzia. Shomer chinam, shomer sachar, nose sachar, shoel vesocher. Okay? Socher, it's a little surprising perhaps that he's a shomer, but also shoel, it's not the, if you'd ask Stam, a man in the street, so what is shomer? Shomer chinam, shomer sachar. Shoel, he's not a shomer, he's a shoel. But still, it's, we included both this and the socher in that discussion. But, obviously, as we know, shoel has a pretty unique status in the sense that even if there is an ones, right? What is an ones? We'll call it... Cheskel, you have a good translation for honest. Something beyond control. No, there is a nesibot external, uncontrollable. Let's say when something is canceled because of things. There's a term koach elyon. That's in
contracts.
No, koach elyon. I'm sure it's a term that.
God.
What?
Act of God.
No. Koach elyon. No. Koach elyon. Something that is canceled because of koach elyon. So I think something that is beyond human beings' control. I don't know what. Something like that. Okay. Beyond control. Okay. So we know that in the Torah, ones rachmana patre. That's a rule. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That if someone does a certain aveira. Let's say he does it because he was forced to do it, because it was beyond his control. Not beyond his control in terms that he didn't control his yetzer. I mean, that is was beyond his control externally, So we know that he's held not responsible for it. Nachon? Mm-hmm. And here you have something pretty unique. That if I borrowed your car, I'm just translating behema to car, okay? I borrowed your car, and then I made an accident, and there's a total loss. So no, maybe accident is a bad example. One can argue that it's meta machmat melacha. Maybe yes, maybe no, probably not. Maybe just if the car is worn out, then I'm not responsible. But if, let's say, there was something happened to the car, you know what? I'll give a good example. There was a flood, and the car is out of use now. And this flood happened while I borrowed your car. I have to pay you the car. And you will tell me, and then I'll say, hello, I did everything to protect this car. And the flood is totally beyond, koach elyon, it's totally beyond control. No, the halacha is you'll have to pay the guy the car. The question is, of course, why? How do we understand this unique achrayus, that a shoel has? So we'll focus, I think, mainly on this question. I just, against our minhag, to first read the Sefer HaChinuch, and then I already said what I think we're going to focus, though we're always open to see other interesting things in the Minchas Chinuch. Okay, but let's see. Mitzvat beidin ladun bedin hashoel. There is a general, I'll just say another intro, there's a general question regarding the Shomrim, is what is really the status of this achrayut thing. Because, we, according to many opinions, which means that I can always do a deal with you, a unique deal with you. That's the freedom of contracts, So probably what that says is, this is the default. Let's say if we didn't say anything, so the Torah tells you what is the norm, what should be, okay? But let's see. לדון בדין השואל. כלומר, אדם ששאל מחברו שום חפץ או בהמה, now we're reading the Sefer החינוך. אדם ששאל מחברו שום חפץ או בהמה, והשאלה היא בלא שכר כלל, meaning it's not a socher, not a renter, אלא שנתחסד עמו לעשות לו טובה זו, he really did him a favor. It's mamish a pure favor in that sense. There's no benefit to the person who lended it. I will always say the lender. There is no benefit. ואחר כך אם נפל מחלוקת ביניהם על הנבר, and then when there is afterwards a certain something happened to the behema or to the object, and there is a certain disagreement with them, between them, שנדון ביניהם הדין שנאמר על זה. So we have here the set of rules, what to decide, what to rule when there is a disagreement. כמו שכתוב בפרשה הזו, וכי ישאל איש מעם רעהו. Yeah, that's the paragraph that starts it. וכי ישאל איש מעם רעהו. Okay, let's see. ובדין השואל, חייבה התורה אפילו האונסין. Here, we're going straight to the, because that's the chiddush, that's the unique element in the shoel. ובדין השואל חייבה התורה אפילו האונסין. Now let's see why. לפי שבאחריותו היא, אחר ששאלה, ולא הוציאה עליה דבר משלו. והרי זה כאין לווה מעות, שאם נאנסו ממנו לא ייפטר מן מלווה בטענת אונס. Okay, actually I did a mistake pedagogically, okay, I'll say. Because I should have told you not to read it, and first say from your own brains, why do you think, I explained that it's a chiddush, ones rachmana patre. Why? What is your svara that a shoel is chayav be'onsin? What is your svara? So, pretend, delete. So if you didn't understand, it's as if you didn't read it. So that's good. Okay, so that's good.
Well, I would say that if we believe that things happen to us because they're supposed to affect us, and we're supposed to be responding to it. So if something happens to us while we have it, so it was meant to happen to us, and we're supposed to suffer those consequences. It would have happened to that person.
I want to sharpen the question. Okay, I think you're going around, or maybe even getting close to. Yeah, but I think this. This is a wait a minute, a spiritual philosophical question, and I'm trying to translate this to a legal halachic thought, and I think that he said something else, not only megalgalin chova, that was an element maybe, but I think that the core, the mishpati core, the legal, the juridic core is something slightly different. Let me ask you. You say, well, it happened to you while it was with you, and it didn't happen, let's say, to the owner while it was with the owner. There is the lender. Let me ask you. Shomer Sachar. He got the object, right? Now he's in charge of it. If something happens to it, an onus, you won't say, hey, it happened while it was in his house, so therefore he should live the consequences. You don't say that, right? Mm-hmm. Why don't you say that? According to your logic, what?
He's getting benefit for it. He's getting money or some benefit.
The shomer, the owner.
Yeah.
Not lender, the owner. Yeah, shomer sachar cannot use the thing. He's just guarding it and getting money for it. Yeah. Okay?
The owner's getting benefit. Even from like a matter of statistics, right? If somebody has something over a lifetime of the car.
Oh, shomer sachar, by the way, no, you got it wrong. Shomer sachar, the one who is paid for it, is the shomer. not the owner, not the owner. Shomer Sachar, the Shomer gets money. The Shomer gets money. So I don't understand. So now I really didn't understand a word of your answer.
The Shomer would get the money.
The Shomer Sachar receives an object, he watches it and gets money for watching it. Okay, great. Now something happened beyond control, a flood, while it was in the residence, in the authority, in the achrayus of the Shomer Sachar. According to your reasoning, well, it happened now when it's in your home, and it didn't happen when it was in the home of the owner. So you should find what?
Yeah, but there's an exchange of benefits. So it's like a contract.
What exchange of benefit?
The person wants them to watch their thing to take.
And with the shoel, since there's zero benefit for the owner.
Yeah, it's like a favor for this person.
But you understand that now you're saying something different. I don't understand the relationship between the two components that you're saying. You're saying there is a significance whether it's merely a favor or there is a benefit. But then you say no. The reason is that if it happened in your place, then if it happened at your place, then it's your problem or something like that. So I don't understand the relationship between these two. Reasoning. You understand my question?
Yeah, I kind of. I just think like if somebody has a car over the lifetime of the car, they might expect that there's going to be an act of God. Something might happen over the lifetime of the car, maybe once. So statistically, it might happen. So if you're doing a favor for somebody and they're borrowing it, so they're kind of like some of the time they have it. So there is more of a chance that the thing might happen, even though it'll be bonus. It's still.
And therefore.
Yeah, and therefore. They should swallow that cost.
Why should they swallow it?
Because they are taking the car for a certain amount of time, and it's a favor to them. So
okay,
it seems fair. They're not
I think that you can.
Yeah,
I think you're touching the point. And what?
שואל, בגלל שזה חסד אמיתי, אז הוא כאילו בעל החפץ, ולכן גם באונסין הוא חייב.
He sharpened what you said. If you follow this Hebrew, he. That's one direction. To say, Shoel is very different than all the rest of the Shomrim. The Shomer Sachar and the Shomer Chinam, the Shomer Sachar, they're Shomrim. They're not owners. They're Shomrim. So, yeah, as a Shomer, they have a certain scope of responsibility. And definitely, onus is not part of it. I'll sharpen what Noor says. If I have this cell phone, I didn't give anyone to borrow it and to use it, and now I don't know. There is some external. There's a flood. I don't know. Something happens to the phone that is beyond control. It's my loss. It's my loss because I'm the owner. Meaning an owner is always chayav be'ones. You understand? An owner is always chayav be'ones. The onus happens to him. That's it. Tough luck. What can he do? Okay? Now, a shomer is not an owner. So therefore he has a certain scope, a limit of responsibility. Shomer chinam has X responsibility. Shomer sahar has more because he gets paid for it. Fine. The shoel, in that sense, his chiyuv be'onsin is as an owner. He's now the temporary owner. Why he's the temporary owner? Because he uses the object. He has the benefits. It's not something. He is now acting as an owner, of course, with the permission, and it's a limited time. He needs to, but as long as it's in his auspices, whatever, he is an owner, and therefore, when something happened to the object, he loses it as an owner, and he'll have to pay the other guy. Okay, that's how you formalize it. B'chashiva mishpatit. Okay, got it? Now that's only one direction. As you'll see, there are other havanot understandings why shows chayav be'onsin. Okay, but that's definitely one of them. And actually, it's one of the sentences in the chinuch here. Let's now read the chinuch. Uvedin shoel, chiyavto haTorah afilu haonsin. לפי שבאחריותו היא אחר ששאלה ולא הוציאה עליה דבר משלו. That's, by the way, not saying it. That's not the point.
לא הוציאה לדבר משלו.
Yeah, לא הוציאה עליה דבר משלו. Look, here, one second. לפי שבאחריותו, it's in his responsibility, since he borrowed it and all the benefit is his, and mamash, and then, והרי זה, yeah, Naor understands that the first sentence explains the next sentence. We could see that actually one can understand that there is a certain tension between the two, potentially, but obviously the Sefer HaChinuch understood like Naor. So, והרי זה, but here it's very crystal clear in the second sentence. והרי זה כאין לווה, he gives an analogy. When I borrow money, I can never say, let's say you gave me dollars. You gave me $100, okay? And then there was fire, and these $100 were burnt, and I didn't have any chance to use them. I need to pay $100 back. No one cares that it was an onus, okay? No, but that's it. The analogy is very crystal clear because we're talking about shomrim, and then he gives an analogy from halva. Now halva, that's why he gives it, because halva, it's very, very clear that the minute that I borrowed the money, how will you say? The minute that I borrowed from you the money, in Hebrew, by the way, you see it's two different terms, borrowing and halva. אני לא משאיל כסף ממך, אני לווה ממך כסף. But at any rate, when I borrow from you money, that moment that I borrow the money is mine. I could buy with it, I can do everything. It's mine. Consequently, I'm chayav b'achrayus. Consequently, I'm chayav b'achrayus even if onus happened, and I'll always have to pay you back in alva. In alva, it's very, very clear. And therefore, he gives the analogy from alva. Just like in alva, you never asked, hey, ones rachmana patre. Ones rachmana patre assumes that there is a certain din here, chiyuv here, and therefore you say, it was mona, so I'm exempt. Here, that's what they're saying. As opposed to shomrim, this is dafka more from the world of alva, shoel. Meaning that it's not that I'm chayev to give him back. It's not that I'm chayev, just like the lova is chayev to pay back to the lova. But I'm not honest. When I lose this cell phone, I won't say, hey, honest Rahmana Patre. Who cares? You just lost it because you were the owner. So the same to the one that is love ma'ot, and the same for the one that is love be'ema. Okay? That's the very clear sentence of the Sefer HaChinuch here. כן.
אז איך מלווה לא קונה בקידושין? אם זה באמת הופך להיות מעות שלך...
First of all, no. So Rashi there asks it, or in Kiddushin, I'll show you, who said milve lehotza'a nitna. So therefore he says, if he is mekadesh with the money, no, you misunderstood. The answer is with a siman kri'ah. If I take if I take money for you in alva, take that money and אני אומר לה, תתקדשי לי בפרוטה זו, קידושין, בטח. What is מקדש במלווה? It's a different thing. בחוב. אני מקדש אותה בחוב. That's it. אני מקדש אותה בחוב. I'm a בעל חוב, and I'm...
הבנתי.
So you see, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. The money is mine, period. The money is mine. בדיוק, the money is mine. Of course. Now, here, you know what? I'll just... okay, let's go. If we'll have time, I'll show you this Rashi in Kiddushin. At any rate, ועל עניין שאלה בבעלים שפטור. Now, of course, that seemed to you very appealing, and we saw that. I'll show you the alternative path. Or you know what, maybe not sure, I'll tell it to you orally. We see the terms ששואל חייב באונסין לפי שכל הנאה שלו. There it seems the music is, you don't need to say כל הנאה שלו. You could say, שואל חייב באונסין, משום שהוא כבעלים. So I'm saying, כל הנאה שלו, or at least from some Rishonim, it seems that the reason why he's chayav ba'onsin is here, since he got such a favor, meaning he is shomer sachar, he's paid for guarding. Here he's mamish, having the object to use. All right? So since this is such a big benefit, so he has a special extra responsibility, chiyuv, that even be'ones, it's like a deal, it's like a trade, if you understand. Meaning, the amount of your responsibility, and again, we're not talking about pshi'a b'shmira, because there is no pshi'a here, it's ones. We're talking like a chevrat bituach, okay, like an insurance company, okay? He says, the deal is the Torah establishes that if you get such a big benefit, then the trade-off is that you are like an insurance company. Okay? You will be chayev even באונסין.
אפשר להבין גם אחרת את זה. אפשר לקחת את זה לכיוון השני.
שמה?
אני כל כך עושה לך טובה שאני לא רוצה שום דבר, שגם אם חלילה קורה כוח עליון, אתה פתאום. הרי זה חסד של אמת, אני נותן לך את המוצר בלי שום טובה.
No, one always has the right to say that. I'm mochel you the onus, or even to write it, I'm lending you the behema, even if but the Torah sets the norm, the rule, and the Torah says in hash'ala, the deal is, the norm is that yes, you got the entire benefit. In exchange, you're liable, to onus. That's a total different explanation than the first one, and therefore you can understand. One could have heard in the first clause that kind of music. Okay. Now, obviously, since he clarifies that he's mamash pressing to the argument of balut, what Noah said. He definitely says that when he gives the analogy for halva'a. Now, what I want to say? Why socher? Why in socher we won't say that he's chayav b'onsin? He's an owner. The socher, he's a temporary owner. It's true that he pays, as opposed to the shoel, he pays for, but okay, he paid to be a temporary owner. He paid. I could have argued that he paid in order to be a temporary owner, so he should be chayav b'onsin. So here, there is some radical opinions, not la'alacha, that socher is chayav b'onsin. Okay, but the mainstream is that he's not chayav, right? And here we'll see that we'll show that he's niftar from onsin because he pays. That's basically what we're going to say. So that's the fact that he's paying for it is poter oto monsin or something along these lines. Now let's go. ועל עניין שאלה בבעלים שפטור, נוכל לומר לפי הפשט. Okay, שאלה בבעלים, let's remind us what is שאלה בבעלים. That's a pasuk, בעליו עמו לא ישלם. Even though he's chayav b'onsin, he even chayav b'onsin, but if the owner is with the borrower, we need to define when, but okay. על עניין שאלה בבעלים נוכל לומר לפי הפשט, שהתורה לא חייבה השואל, אחר שבעל הכלי הוא הבהמה עמו, ומכיוון שהוא לשם ישמור הוא את שלו. ואף על פי שהשואל פטור אף לאחר שהלכו הבעלים, כיוון שהיו שם בשעת שאלה, אפשר לתרץ בזה שלא רצתה התורה לתת את הדברים לשיעורין, ולומר אם ישו לשם הבעלים הרבה יהיה פטור, אם מעט יהיה חייב. So they set the rule that if he is with him, בזמן השאלה, then Yeah, it's a big chiddush. Din bebailim is a big chiddush. It's a chabura on its own. וזהו הטעם שאמרו זיכרונם לברכה, שאם היה עמו בשעת שאלה, אף על פי שלא היה עמו בשעת שבירה ומיתה, פטור. אבל היה עמו בשעת שבירה ומיתה ולא היה עמו בשעת שאלה חייב, כי בתחילת המעשה העניין תלוי. וזה הטעם בעצמו מספיק לו בסחירות ובביילים שגם כן פטור. אוקיי, בביילים is a big חידוש, we won't open it now. דיני המצווה, מתה מחמת מלאכה, פטור. meaning אונס אמנם חייב, but מתה מחמת מלאכה פטור. meaning if the car, let's say I used it in a regular usage, and it just died, and it's clearly that it's out of based on the usage, then I'm exempt. I won't be chayav be'ones. All right, I wanna just, I'll jump to the last line. נוהגת, the scope, yeah, the fourth component. נוהגת בזכרים שעליהם לעשות דין.
איפה זה קורה? פה.
ובית דין העובר עליה ולא דן. Yeah, because remember, they're not talking about the people. מצוות בית דין לדון בדין השואל. So it's זכרים, because דיינים are זכרים, you know. And now, let's look at the מנחת חינוך.
התמונה של הוועדה למינוי דיינים, הייתה שם בחורה, ראית?
בוועדה למינוי דיינים יש תמיד, אפילו לפעמים כמה, אולי הפעם. אוקיי. זה גם בחוק ככה. ואגב, זה הגיוני מאוד. זה הגיוני מאוד מאוד. לא, תחשוב, אחוז עצום מהדיונים בבתי הדין זה בגירושין וזה, מה, אם לא יהיה ניצול, זה בדיחה, ברור ש... טוב, לדון דיני המצווה, מצווה סמך לדון בדין השואל, okay, you see it in, no, מצווה סמך, and it's on the right hand, the left hand side. עיין רמב"ם הלכות שאלה בפיקדון ובטור ושולחן אורך, והכתבם בקיצור. Yeah, that's a classic opening, תמיד הכתבם בקיצור. השואל מחברו בהמה או כלים ושאר מטלטלין שגופן ממון, להשתמש בו, או לכל הדברים, או לדבר מיוחד. חייבה התורה להשואל אף באונסים, כיוון דאינו נותן שכר וכל הנאה שלו. Yeah, so he starts right from the beginning in the chidush of the chiyuv onsim. כיוון שאינו נותן שכר וכל הנאה שלו. That's the reasoning that he gives. אינו נותן שכר וכל הנאה שלו. If I would stay here, I would say maybe it's the second direction. Since he gets such a benefit, so his insurance company should cover more than the insurance company of the shomer sachar. רק אם נפסד או מת המחמת מלאכה פטור, דלאו לאוקמה בחילתא שעל. Yeah, of course, if it was worn out because of the normal usage, then he's patur. Why? Because he didn't take it just to put it in the museum. והרמב"ם כאן חילק בין בשעת מלאכה או שלא בשעת מלאכה, ועיקר החילוק היא מחמת מלאכה פטור. ואין במגיד משנה ובכסף משנה, וכן הוא בשוע. ובדברי הרב מחבר כאן, הכל תלוי במחמת מלאכה. ודווקא אם לא שינה מהמלאכה ששאל בשבילה. אבל אם שינה ועשה מלאכה אחרת, ואפילו קלה ממלאכה ששאלה בשבילה, if he changed the normal usage, חייב. ואין מה שכתב דווקא אם יש קצת לתלות במחמת השינוי מטענה. He says no, but he'll be חייב only if because of the change, he will... he will be חייב. אוקיי. ועיין שם, let's just finish אות א', ועיין שם בשוע, סעיף ג', דעת המחבר, דאף דאונס היה יכול לבוא שלא מחמת מלאכה. האונס היה יכול לבוא שלא מחמת מלאכה. כגון של שאל בהמה ללך דרך ידוע. He borrowed an animal to lead him in a very known way. ובאו ליסטים וחיות והנשואה. And then robbers or animals killed it. Havele kemachmat melacha. So the Shulchan Aruch says that Chora, this kind of onus could have happened even if she was doing other things than its regular usage. Meaning, it's not that the onus happened while she was doing its regular usage, but it doesn't seem that there is a connection to the regular usage. Still, he says that is dafka cover. He's exempt. And that's a machloket.
Would have expected the other way.
דזה לא אבי מחמת מלאכה, ובלא הליכת הדרך היה יכול לבוא האונס הזה. וושך מסכים לדעה זו, על פי דעת הרמב"ן. והעיקר הטעם דפטור ומחמת פשיעת המשאיל, שהיא שילה למלאכה שאינה יכולה לסבול. אם כן בחיי גבנה לא פשע המשאיל כלל, על כן חייב. אלא אם בא לאונס מחמת המלאכה, פטור אין שם. That's a very interesting svara that the Minchas Chinuch says. He says, you know why? Because, let's analyze. If Naor is right, the Sefer Chinuch itself, that the chiyuv of own sin is because you're an owner. So why meta machmat melacha? Why meta machmat melacha? You're not chayav be'ones. You're the owner. Tough luck. It was when it wasn't, even just because it was worn out. What do I care? What?
בגלל שאני בעלים זמני. זה שימוש סביר ואני בעלים זמני. זה הלוגיקה.
But you see, it's complicated. So now the thing is this. Comes the Ramban and gives here an interesting svar for meta machmat melacha, for the fact that the borrower is pater. He says, it is because it's the pshia, look, it's of the mash'il, of the lender. The lender gave me something in order to use it in normal usage, and he didn't deliver. He gave me a rotten thing. Okay? So that's it. So it's not my... meaning he is kind of... And now I'll sharpen it. Really, I should have been chayav as the owner. Temporary one, but the owner. But there is a reason here why I'm exempt. I'm exempt because it's really a pshia, because of the pshia. Okay, but that's the onus of his. Like, you'll say, now.
אם הבעלים לא ידע שהמכונית...
No, of course he wasn't. But but it's... So he didn't check it enough, whatever. He didn't check it. He told me something that wasn't really true. Now, but if you say such a svara, then of course, regarding this machloikis that he brought, machloket poskim, if robbers came while it's doing and killed it while it was doing its regular usage, so one opinion says, as long as it was while it's doing the regular usage, then you're a pater. And Ramban says, no, you'll be chayav be'onsin, because there's no relationship between the two. Now, according to his var, it makes a lot of sense. Why? Because there's no pshia of the mashil that the robbers came and okay, got it? So that's an interesting thing. Now, I wanna here I have to admit I'm having some help from Reb Shmuel Shimoni, a Rebbe in Gush. Let's just first review regarding what we asked about what is the yesod of the chiyuv v'nonsin. Yeah, okay, the Meiri says explicitly what Naor says. שמכל מקום, כל שלא אחז במלאך המוות, I'm reading the Meiri, ברשות שואלי לכל צורכי מלאכתו. ומעתה אף כשמתה הוא נתחייב בה, שכבר קנאה, ונתחייב כיוצא בה לבעלים. Yeah, that's the most, crystal clear One second. Now let's read the Rashba, okay? ושואל דחייב במתה כדרכה, okay? שואל that is chayav when it
regular use.
No, he's not regular. מתה כדרכה, in an honest, משום דכיוון שכל הנאה שלו, וכמה רחמנה ברשותי לגמרי כאילו היא שלו. Now that's a different nuance. Because the Meiri says, since I'm using it, I'm like an owner. And that's the analogy to the halva. He says something a little complicated that resonates with it. שואל דחייב באמת, משום דכיוון שכל הנאה שלו, since he gets such a big favor, then the Torah decided that it will be legally considered as his. Okay? It's a different nuance. Yeah, I agree. All right. Now let's see. Now, din meta machmat melacha. One second. עוד שנייה, בסדר? Okay, let's jump to no, why does it say Sif Katan Tet? That's a little weird. Yeah, I think he meant Gimel. Okay. Skip to Sif Katan Gimel. Very good. והנה כתבנו לעיל, הדין, והשומרים יכולים לחייב עצמם יותר מדינים שפסקה להם תורה בדברים בעלמא. כגון שומר חינם להיות כשואל. מתנה שומר חינם להיות כשואל. That's a Mishnah. That's exactly what I told you orally in the beginning of the shir today. That one can make... there's freedom of contracts. חופש החוזים. כן? אוקיי. והאין כאן קצות החושן, מביא מחלוקת הפויסקים. The קצויס is bringing מחלוקס. איש שואל יכול לחייב עצמו באמת המחמת מלאכה, בדברים בעלמא. Very interesting. Can I just say, I'm a borrower, and let's say I really want to borrow something, and I'm creating the story, and you're not that enthusiastic to give me, even though you know that I'm chayav ba'onsin, but still you say, hey, meta machmat melacha, he's going to be patur. So I'm telling you, you know what? I promise you, I'm committing that even if it's going to be meta machmat melacha, I will compensate you. Now, usually, in order to do such a thing, maybe I need to do a certain kinyan on it, because it's a commitment. The question is whether my word is enough, legally. I mean, of course, one has to be honest and stand behind his words, but we're talking about the legal validity of it. Is it enough to be bedvarim, just with words, such a commitment or not? וכתב דזה תלוי, and the קצות says, דזה תלוי בשני תירוצי התוספות במציאה. עלה דשומר חינם יכול להתנות דברים, ובעבדים ושטרות וקרקעות באי קניין. וכתבו בשומרים דבאי שבועה, לא באי קניין, אבל עבדים, שטרות וקרקעות דפטור אף משבועה, באי קניין. Yeah. If on karkaot, when I am a shomer chinam or a shomer sachar on a karka, ein nishbain al karkaot. So I always won't have shvua. You know, usually in shomer there's a shvua that I shelo pasha. Okay, but with karka I'll be patur mishvua. So they say whenever you're patur mishvua, then when you want to do a certain extra commitment, you need a kinyan. אם כן כאן דחייב שבועה, יכול להתחייב יותר מדינו בדברים בהמה. So here, there's no פטור משבועה, meaning מתה מחמת מלאכה. Let's say the case is מתה מחמת מלאכה. I'll have to swear on this. Okay? And so לכאורה, you don't need kinyan. Because there is שבועה here, I don't need kinyan. ולתירוץ השני שכתבו, וכיוון שמתחייב כשואל, סבורים העולם שהשאילו, ובאי הנאה משעבד נפשי. אם כן תפי משואל לא משעבד. So, he is שומר חינם, one second. ישואל יכול לחייב עצמו באמת המחמת מלאכה. So he says, he needs a kinyan. Why? Because they're saying, Tosfos, that if that you can't really do it only with words. You have to.
אתה לא יכול לעשות.
כן, בדיוק. Right, because by the way, this is very different, by the way, the than our direction of Baalim. Because he says he committed, he got such a big benefit, and that caused the dat litchayev. But then clearly he was mitchayev only to what is chayav, and not to Meta Machmat Melacha. You want to take upon yourself more than Meta, then you need to do an extra kinyan on this, okay? Because the regular Hana of Shoel causes you to be chayev only onsin without Meta Machmat Melacha. Okay. אם כן אינו יכול לחייב עצמו במנה, ואין שם שהביא דעת הראשונים בזה. ונבוא שם הביא דעתו די יכול לחייב עצמו. Okay. Now, let's skip to סעיף קטן tet. Indeed. I see that indeed סעיף קטן tet is a needed one. והנה בעבדים, שטרות וקרקעות, כמו שאר שומרים שכתבנו לעיל, ואין דין שומרים בזה, רק בפשע הוא מחלוקת הראשונים, אין שם. הוא הדין כאן, אין דין שואל בעבדים, שטרות וקרקעות. ואם רוצה לחייב את עצמו, צריך קניין, כמו שנתבהר לעיל. ובנתיבות המשפט כתב, דשואל יכול לחייב עצמו, לשלם באמת המחמת מלאכה בדברים. The same thing we discussed previously. כמו שהבאנו לעיל, עוד ג' he says it. וכתב הטעם, הדין השומר יכול לחייב עצמו בדברים יותר ממה שחייבה התורה אותו, רק מחמת ההוא הנאה או בקניין, היינו בדבר שרק השומר חייב, ולא איש אחר. אבל במחמת מלאכה, שכל איש שעושה מלאכה בחפץ חברו ונפסד חייב, דאבל אי כגזלן וכמזיק בידיים, ורק השואל פטור דלאחי ושלי, אבל אם יתנה שיתחייב מחמת מלאכה, אם כן לאו לאחי ושלי וחייב, דאבל אי כי יתנה, אם תמות מחמת מלאכה, בטלה השלה. אם כן ממילא חייב, כיוון דמת מחמת מלאכה דידי. Wow. That's a tremendous chiddush of the Netivot. The Netivot says, you know what's going on here? It's a very unique perspective on what's going on. We'll start first with what we saw in Ot Gimel. we said, and he said, that in general, when a shomer accepts upon himself more than what the Torah obligated him, let's say shomer sachar says, I want to be chayav even be'onsin. I don't know, maybe you're paying me, $1,000, I don't know what. You need to do a kinyan. He says it's either a kinyan or he says either a kinyan or hahu ana'ah. Maybe, if it's $1 million payment for it, then it's clear to everybody that this is an extraordinary shomer sachar. So be'a'i ana'ah, that he is meshabed nafshe to even more. But generally, you need just a regular shomer sachar. Yeah, there should be a certain legal mechanism to accept the extra responsibility. So, l'chor with Shoel, it's the same thing. If you want to be mitchayev in more than meaning that not only in regular onus ani chayav, also if the onus is machmat melacha, I will be chayav. L'chor, you need to do a kinyan. Okay? But now the Netivot says, I, by the way, would say, without the Netivot, put the Netivot aside, okay? And by the way, the svara, why regular shoel is not chayev b'meta machmat melacha, is for that he borrowed it. We saw another svara of the Ramban. It's a pshia of the mashir, okay? I would say that l'chora, and here I'm saying it with a hesitation, okay? I'm just giving you my chora. If the chiyuv, we had a chakira, the chiyuv and onsin, where does it come from? One direction, it's like halva, as the Sefer Chinuch says. It's as an owner. You lose it just like an owner uses his thing. Okay? The other direction was no, you're not an owner, you're a borrower. The thing is that since you got such a big favor, such a big hana, then the extent of the achrayut that you give in exchange is really, really big. That was the two directions. Now, I think there is this chakira, whether I must do a kinyan or not, is dependent on this machlokas that he brought in Od Gimel, whether I can do it with wordings or I must do a kinyan. I think we can correlate it to this chakira. If I'm saying, if I'm a bailim, lehefech, I'm a bailim, I have an exemption because of meta machmat melacha. That's like an exemption. The norm should have been, I'm an owner, I'm chayav everything. But there is an exemption of meta machmat melacha because for that he gave it to me. So of course, if I accept, I just, how do you say, remove, there is a legal term. There is a legal term to that. Overload, whatever. The exemption, meaning the norm is that I'm chayiv as an owner. There was an exemption of meta machmat melacha, and I just say that I'm mevarer in the exemption. So that could be in wordings. I don't need to do a kinyan on this. To be chayiv be'onsen, even be'meta machmat melacha, is the integral part of the fact that I'm a bailim. There's usually an exemption. So I have to say explicitly that I'm mevater on this exemption. But that could be in wordings. I don't need to do it bekinyan. However, if I say the norm, just like with Shomrim, Shoel is just like Shomrim, meaning there is a correlation between the benefit and the extent of insurance that I accept upon myself. So that if you want to accept more, create a chiyuv, then you need to do a kinyan. I think it's a very clear this liya. So that's my seichel. Now, the Nesivos says something different, and that's a big innovation. Won't elaborate on it. The Netivot says he has a very interesting look at what's going on here. He says, one who accepts meta machmat melacha, what is he really saying? That what is the meaning of, he says, usually, if I take your behema, without permission and do normal usage. And out of that normal usage, the behemoth dies. I'm a gazlan or a mazik. Okay? Now, okay. But he says that you're bichayev as a mazik. Now, what he says is the following. Whereas in other shomer, he says here, the shoel that made an explicit condition, the shoel really should be chayev as a regular mazik. But why is he usually pater from it? He's usually pater from because for this purpose he got the hashala. So he says, but if he made it tnai, he says, im tamut machman la batla hashala. It's as if I'm not considered a shoel if she'll die, if the behemoth will die from the usage. Im ken mimei lechayav kevan demeta machmat melacha didei. As what he says, as היינו בדבר שרק השומר חייב ולא ישחרר. אבל באמת המחמת מלאכה, כל איש שעושה... In Shomer, he says, the reason why you can't accept anything but a Kenyan is because there, only a Shomer is chayiv in these things, not a regular person. Your chiyuv is novea from the fact that you're a Shomer. But here, מחמת מלאכה, שכל איש עושה מלאכה בכם ונפסד חייב. So it's like, גזלן ומזיק בידיים. Only what? You're usually exempt as a show. So I said, I'm about, it's very interesting that he words it this way. I think in the depth of it, he's saying something pretty similar to the svara that I said, though he's not saying the same, clearly, because he's talking about tashlumei mazik. Okay? But this is the Netivot's direction. Okay. בסדר, אנחנו נעצור פה.
יישר כוח עצום. היה מעניין מאוד.
תודה.
איפה